Hey y'all, it's time for another What Sold video. Today I'm going over 1 week's worth of sales in my online clothing resale business. I have 14 items to go over with you. It was a very bread and butter week, but it all added up to a pretty good profit, which I'm grateful for. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jenny Shaneyfelt. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller. The way my business works is I go to thrift stores. I dig through the racks to try to find good brands, good quality, or just a really in-demand style of clothing. I try to find them for as cheap as possible, bring them home, list them on eBay, Poshmark, and Depop, and flip them for a profit. And I come on here every single week to share with you what's sold. When I first started, I was clueless as to what to look for in the thrift store. And it was what sold videos just like this that were so helpful to me. So I love coming on here every week to share and hopefully be helpful to you. All right, so before I show you this item, let me tell you 14 items sold this week. 11 were on eBay. eBay is always the platform where I have the most sales. Poshmark, I sold 3. None sold on Depop this week. I only recently started on Depop. I think I've sold 13, 15 items now. I'm not sure. And okay, so I'm looking at my sheet and I'm going to also tell you I have all of my eBay items promoted at 3%. I didn't promote anything for like a year and I was like, let me experiment with this. So I promoted everything at 2%. I saw an increase in sales and then I bumped it up to 3% and I've kept it there on all my items. And this week 4 items sold on promoted listings, so I only had to pay that extra little fee on those 4 items, and it was only after the item sold. So if you haven't tried promoted listings yet, you might want to try it. It's been helpful. And just to give you an idea of what the fees are for these 4 items, for the promoted listings, that one I paid 91 cents, this one I paid 73 cents, 95 cents, and 80 cents. So to me, to get 4 extra sales in the week, to pay not even $4 more, yes, please. All right, I'll break down my total profit for you at the end. And I also have here in this box something that I picked up on my last thrift trip. That's a non-clothing item. I always try, if I have time, after I finish shopping for clothes, to go venture over into the other side of the thrift store and just to like expand my knowledge and see if there's anything that's non-clothing that I can buy to resell. And I think I made a good buy, so I'm going to show that to y'all. I just got that listed today. All right, let's look at this week's sales. Okay, first we have these Rachel Zoe harem pants, pockets, women large, boho, hippie, pull-on, elastic, fall, autumn. I paid 80 cents for these at a bag sale. I listed them for $25. The buyer offered 12 days later, and I accepted, and that gave me a profit of $15.20. Next, new with tags, Chelsea and Theodore maxi skirt, women's medium, patchwork, light blue, full, boho, cottage. I honestly love selling maxi skirts, and patchwork is a great word. If you can throw it in there, to throw it in there this time of year especially. I paid $2.50. I listed it for $30. 1 day later, someone offered $25. I accepted. That gave me a profit of $19.10. Next, this was that really stretchy material, like almost bouncy type of fabric. I think they call it liquid knit. This was from the J. Jill Wherever collection. Red floral tank top, women's medium, gold, black, shell top, comfort. I bought this one for $1.50. I listed it for $20, and the very same day someone paid full price, which gave me a profit of $15.46. I have found this bouncy, stretchy, liquid knit type fabric to do very well in like tank dresses, tank tops. I have a couple cardigans listed that haven't done quite as well, but they haven't been listed for very long. But this one sold same day, full price. So if you're not already, look out for that type of material. Next, we have a golf skirt. Slazenger, I think is how you say that. Women's small golf skirt. Zip pockets, pickleball, tennis, argyle, white, yellow. There's your Slazenger tag. I paid $4.99. I listed it for $25. 24 days later, someone paid full price again. That gave me a profit of $15 and a penny. Next, we have a tank top. This is Billa Boho Cottagecore tank top. Women medium, red, white, blue, ruffle, paisley, peasant. My mom gave me this one, so I had no money into it. I listed it for $19. 101 days later, I sent someone an offer for $16.50 and they accepted. That gave me a profit of $13.54. All right, next, this one did not have a tag in it, but I thought it was adorable. So I had to get it. It had mushrooms and dragonflies and snails and ferns and flowers. It was the perfect cottagecore piece. So I picked it up. I titled it Women's Large Mushroom Button Top, Cottagecore, Dragonfly, Snail, Garden, Floral, V-neck, 3/4 sleeve. I paid $3.99. I listed it for $27. 19 days later, someone came along and paid full price. $20, so that gave me a profit of $19.25. Y'all, this was a really good week as far as how long it took stuff to sell. Not very long, and 3 full price sales already. Pat myself on the back. It makes me feel like I know what I'm doing. It makes me happy. Even though they weren't huge profits, if I can get quick flips like that, I am celebrating. All right, next we have Pure Jill long sleeve shirt tail tee, women's 4X. And all of that first part of the title was right here on the tag. I love when they do that. I know exactly what to title it. Navy blue, tie-dye, casual, stretch. I paid $2 for this. I listed it for $25. This one was part of my tiered weekend sale. Everything goes on sale on the weekends in my eBay store. And this one was on 10% off. And someone snatched it up at that price. So they paid $22.50. And y'all, when I'm reporting these prices to you, this is not including shipping. So it's always the price that I'm giving you plus the shipping. And I do calculated shipping. This sold in 4 days and it gave me a profit of $16.22. Next, Laura Bianchi Women's Large Cottagecore 100% linen top, white Italy lace balloon sleeve. I had sold several white linen pieces with a very similar like peasant top style cut, and I didn't put peasant top in the title. Maybe that would have helped it sell faster. 177 days for this one. I paid $4. I listed it for $25. The buyer offered me $17. I accepted for a profit of $9.51. Next, going into fall, I actually meant to not have this one on sale. I meant to relist it, so when I go in to do my sale, based on how long things have been listed, this one wouldn't have been on the highest tier, so someone got a really good deal on this one. They snatched it up at 20% off. But let me tell you the details. This is Pure Jill by J. Jill, women's extra large, red velvet tunic cowl neck top, pockets, cozy, long. So I paid $4.15 for it. I listed it for $28, and I just knew going into the fall, being velvet and red, somebody would buy this at full price, and I forgot to take it off the sale, so it's fine. I'm glad somebody got a good deal, and I hope they're loving it. It sold in 187 days. I did list it during the warmer months. They bought it at 20% off, which was $22.40. I still got a pretty good profit of $14.20. Okay, next, Torrid. I would love to hear your experience with Torrid. I have heard lots of resellers say they love selling Torrid, but the Torrid pieces I have bought, it's taken a while for them to sell. Maybe I'm overpricing them, but I didn't think so. Let me know. Do you sell Torrid? Do you like it? Do you feel like it flips fast? Good money? Tell me all the things. This one I titled Torrid 3X Skater Dress, Ribbed Button V-neck, Withered Rose Pink was the style name / color name, casual. Cute dress. I paid $4.99. I listed it for $33. The buyer, 191 days later, the buyer offered me $24, and because I hadn't had much interest, I just did go ahead and take it. That was a pretty good offer though. My profit was $14.21. Next, if this one had been a little bit longer, I probably would have kept it. It was cute for fall. This is I'd love to hear your experience with too. I've heard mixed reviews. Some people say they don't ever pick it up. Some people love to pick it up. I'm real selective with it because I think I just like, you get it in your head. If you have a bad experience with something early on, it's like it sticks with you. And I had picked up this really cute new with tags cardigan, and it sat forever. And I think I ended up selling it for like $10. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, it's the brand, it's the brand. It was probably me listing it wrong or something. Anyways, this one I titled Flower Short Baby Doll Dress, Long Tunic Top, because it was so short you really could have worn it for either. Women's large balloon sleeve, navy. I paid $4. I listed it for $27. It was listed for 129 days, so it was 20% off in my eBay store, and someone got it at that price. $21.60 is what they paid. That gave me a profit of $14.35. Next, Spartina. I have sold a purse, maybe two, maybe just one, in this brand. I had never heard of it before. My mom had given me the purse, and I looked it up, and I was like, wow, this is definitely a brand to look out for. So Spartina 449 is on the tag. I'll show you the tag. I titled it Spartina 449 Floral Beach Boho Dress, Women's Medium Elaine Calm Waters Ruffle Beachy. They were selling for a lot more than what I accepted here, but I really didn't think this one photographed all that well. I tried to make this look cute on this model on the hanger, and it just did not. It didn't photograph well, and we were going into the colder months, so I did accept a low offer. I paid $3.15. I listed it for $43. The seller countered my offer at $24.99. That's a pretty good price, but $43, what I listed it at, was like on the lower end of the Spartina dresses. But because it didn't look that cute on the photos and we were going into the colder months, I just went ahead and accepted the $24.99. That gave me a profit of $18.12. I don't know if I said it was listed for 90 days. Next, new with tags, sheer black top, dark fairy, women's large, silk, whimsy goth, floral, velvet, embroidered. It had lots of great keywords that I could throw in there. I'm sure I put even more in the description. The brand was Dorothy Biss. I couldn't find much about that. I bought it based off of the style, but it was 100% silk and it was new with tags. But based off of what I saw in comps, I only priced it at $25. I paid $3.15 for it. It was listed for 113 days. It was part of my 20% off sale on the weekend, and someone bought it at that price, which was $20. That gave me a profit of $12.47. All right, we got one more, and this was the highest sale of the week at $39. I told you it was a lot of bread and butter. Usually I have a few 40s, maybe some 50s, 60s thrown in there, but not this week. These were some very used, they were in good shape, but you could tell they'd been worn a lot. Dansko women's size 7 Reese toe loop cinnamon adjustable strap. So anytime I find any kind of Danskos in good condition, I'm going to be looking them up, and I was really excited about what I saw with these. Usually it's clogs though that I'm seeing, Dansko clogs. Actually, I've never seen a pair of Dansko sandals before these. I paid $3 for them, and I listed them at $55. The buyer countered my offer at $39. If this were the middle of the summer, I would have held out to get closer to that $55, but going into the colder weather, I thought that was a good deal. They were only listed for 13 days, and that gave me a profit of $30.17. All right, before I go over my profit breakdown for that week, y'all want to see what I picked up in the non-clothing aisle, and I'll show y'all too what I look at on my phone in the thrift store to decide if I'm going to pick them up or not. Y'all want to do that? All right, they are porcelain vintage light switch covers. There's 3 of the single ones, And 2 of the double ones, they just looked interesting to me. And here's the back. See, it says Japan on it. It's got some sort of marking, and they wrote the stinking price right on it, and they were half off. So I paid $2 for the bigger ones and $1.50 for the smaller ones. So they had just set these out. They were having a half off sale. I got a ton of clothes, as you can see behind me. Okay, so they looked very interesting, and I was like, let me look those up. So the first thing that I do is, if it doesn't have a brand or a way for me to easily describe this or to know right off the bat what to type in, I will use Google Lens and see if it gives me an idea of what this is called. Like, I don't know what the brand, I know I could say floral light switch cover Japan. That's probably how I would have described it. But when I Google Lensed it, it told me it was vintage, it was ceramic, and porcelain, which are the same thing, and I know that from being in dentistry for 12 years. Did y'all know that crayons are made of porcelain and ceramic is the same thing as porcelain? Isn't that crazy? Like, we can chew hard things with breakable stuff and it doesn't break in your mouth. It's crazy to me. Anyways, side note, y'all didn't care about that. Maybe you did. But okay, so once it told me that it was vintage, Japanese, floral, ceramic or porcelain, light switch covers, then I go to the research section in eBay and see what they're selling for. And then, so I'll look at sold listings, see what they went for. And then I'll look at, okay, so how many of these are listed? Am I gonna have to, are there like 100 more in competition with me and I'm gonna have to list them super duper low? Those are the 2 things that I look at. So let me first show you the research section. And on your phone, I feel like this is way easier to do on your phone, but my phone's right there recording me right now. So you're gonna go to the sales section and then you're gonna tap research. And I'm gonna type in vintage porcelain floral Japanese light. I'm just gonna put Japan, not Japanese. I'm gonna put Japan because that's what it said on the back. Light switch cover. So this part of eBay is only going to pull up stuff with those exact words in the title. So I may have to narrow it down or change some words up a bit as I'm doing this in the store. Like, if nothing pulled up, I'll be like, maybe I misspelled something. So as you can see here, this is showing you for the last 90 days what has happened. And 34 different sellers have sold these. It has a 19.66% sell-through rate. For me, that's a pretty good sell-through rate. They sold anywhere from $6 to $34.99. The average sold price was $16.04. Now, I can tell you, when I looked at this the other day, there was a few that had sold in the $50 range. So those have probably dropped off since I looked at it. Like, it's past their 90 days now, so it wouldn't show up here. And some people are selling them singly, and some people are selling them as lots. What I decided to do is sell mine as a lot, which may not be the right decision, but that's what I decided to do. So I'm gonna order this. This is what I do in the store. So I'm gonna find the column that tells me what it sold for, and I'm gonna tap the heading on that column, and it's gonna order it from highest to lowest. It may pop up lowest to highest. Just tap it again and it'll reorganize it the other way. So this one right here, just the one, it's porcelain, it's from Japan, it has the golden edges, just that one sold for $34.99. It's not exactly like mine, but it's similar. All right, let's look at this one. Look, this is the exact same thing. Y'all look at that. And this is what I'm looking at in the store when I'm trying to decide if I'm going to purchase it or not. But look, it's the same thing. Same thing. And this one sold for $33.24. This is making me want to go back and list these singly, because I think I listed all 5 of these for $59, but their one sold for $33. I don't know. What should I do, y'all? Anyways, this is what I look at. I'm like, and I'm thinking in the store, okay, I could sell these singly, I could sell them as a lot, but obviously they are selling well. All right, here's a lot that sold for $30. They just had one of the big ones and two of the little ones, and it sold for $30. So that's how I run my comps when I'm in the store. It's probably the same thing you guys all do, but if you're brand new like I was in the beginning, had no clue, I hope that's helpful for you. And then you can go in like you're a shopper and look and see what is currently listed to see what your competition is. I'm sure y'all all know how to do that, so I'm not going to do that in this video, but if y'all want me to make one like that, I'll definitely will. Okay, so those are currently listed. They have not sold yet. I just wanted to show y'all those because I was excited about them. I'm always excited to learn something new. Okay, so as I told you before, 14 items sold during this week. Oh, and I never told you, this was September 8th through September 14th. 11 sold on eBay, 3 sold on Poshmark. The total amount that my customers paid for what they bought, plus the shipping that they paid, was $417.65. The fees that Poshmark and eBay charged after the sale, I always want to emphasize that, because if you are new to this and you're just kind of like testing the waters, listening to people's videos, all the fees are charged after the sale. It's free to list on Poshmark. It's free to list on eBay up to a certain point. I need to go back and look and see how many listings you can list for free, but it took me a while to get there. And then after that, it's a couple cents per listing, unless, and at that point, when I reached that point, I started doing a store subscription, which ended up paying for itself. Anyways, my whole point in saying all of that is, if you're like, I don't know if I can handle all the fees and all the this and the that, all the fees are taken out after the sale. So there's already money there, and they take it out of that sale. So $417.65 in the sales plus the shipping. The fees that eBay and Poshmark took out of those sales was $65.09. Then I have to pay to ship the item. Well, my customers pay for shipping too. So if y'all are worried about that too, your customer pays for the shipping. I mean, some people do offer free shipping, but I don't. So the shipping that I had to pay out of that was $83.53. So that made my earnings $269.03. So that's the amount of money that was deposited back into my bank account. But to find my true profit, I have to take out the cost of the stuff. So initially in the thrift store, what did I pay for all 14 of these items? So that came to a total of $42.22. So my profit for this week was $226.81. It was a pretty good week for mostly, well, all bread and butter sales. Okay, before I go, one more thing. You guys who have followed the channel for a while have heard me share my goals for YouTube, and my first big goal was to reach 1,000 subscribers, and today I reached 900. So if you are not subscribed yet, subscribing is always free. You just click that subscribe button. That would tremendously help me to get to my goal. I want to do it by the end of the year, if not by the end of November. That would be awesome. While you're there, you can hit that bell icon. That lets eBay know that you want to be notified when I release a new video. And heck, hit the like button too. That's always helpful as well. You're more than welcome to leave a comment, a question, whatever. I'll always get back to you ASAP. And I look forward to sharing with you guys next week. Bye.